Welcome everyone to this 100K circle. I'm stoked to be here today with all of you. Look at all these bright, shiny faces from all around the world. We have people coming in from Africa, from Europe, from all over the States. I love it. Yes. All right. So Erin Thomas is our mentor today. She's my co-facilitator for this call, and she's prepared some awesome tips for you ladies today. So Erin Thomas, for those of you who haven't met her, she is a light in this community. She is a Care Bear who shines her light bright to everyone. And she really has just been such an instrumental, foundational dame since 2020. And she is an expat living in Stuttgart, Germany. And she's from Charleston, South Carolina. So when you hear the accent, you're going to be like, wait a minute, she doesn't sound like she's from Germany. No, she sounds like she's from exactly where she's from. So Erin is just such a light, and she's obviously a messaging strategist and a writer and just a joy and a light in the dames. So Erin, ecstatic to have you. Still trying to add people in here. And I am going to let you take it away, my friend.
Oh, well, thanks for that lovely welcome. Yeah, so Charleston, South Carolina is home for me. It's where our family is. We own a house there, so it's kind of where we go and come for when we travel, but travel lifestyle is our thing, so that's what brings us over here. But yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I know some of you I saw at Funference when we were in the 100K room, and that was awesome, and others of you I know as power partners, and there's new faces, so I'm really excited to meet everybody. Okay, so Megan, should I just kind of dive into kind of what I'm?
Yeah, definitely. So for those of you who haven't been on this call before, what we do is we have someone who has crushed the 250K mark, who comes and does a little talk for about 10 minutes about how we can do that, how we can all get past that 250K mark, and how we can do so with power partners. So Erin's going to talk about that, and then we'll jump into the mastermind segment afterwards.
Yeah. So one of the things Megan and I were talking about earlier in the week when we were talking about my visit here was coming up specifically with some strategies to incorporate business growth and using the resources that we have here and each other and in this group. So what I tried to do was think back to how I've used specifically this group and applied that to other areas as well. So most of my tips are hybrids. Yeah, so we'll go from there. The first one that I think is so important in terms of power partnerships is finding your own lane and what works for you in this group. Now, that seems kind of like a no-brainer because, we're all marching to our own drum, but it can be hard, like it is in our businesses, like when we chase shiny things. And in our messaging, that's how I always relate it. When people will go down one lane for a while and they see this other person doing something cool and they jump over here to do that. And it kind of messes with their consistency in their brand. I find dames can be a little bit like that. Where people, and at the beginning, when you're a new dame, you're trying on all the things to see what fits. But once you kind of sink into your groove, really diving deep to make your presence known. Here's what I mean by that. So when I joined the group, it's tough for me living overseas. Some of the times are really tough for me to join calls. But at that particular time, I made it a priority, even though I don't work at nights, I don't take calls in the evenings, but I did then because I needed to meet people and I needed to see what was what. Once I started getting my bearings and connecting with power partners, my strategy shifted. And rather than making it feel heavy to join all these calls that I would love to be part of, I made my lane in the Facebook group. That was kind of my first top thing, is I dedicated time every morning for me, where a lot of people are sleeping in the US, and I would provide I was sleeping, I would post little videos. I made a name for myself in the group, and I tried to be of service in the group. And so that became my thing. And I no longer felt this need to be Debbie Joyner and be all the things to all the people. I also am not a huge fan. Like, I have such limited overlap with the time difference. I can't do one-on-one calls all day long because it's already 3 o'clock my time when a lot of folks are getting in the office. West Coast folks, it's already 5 o'clock my time, like it is now. So how can you fit your membership into your life that feels really good and really put all of it toward that, just like you do in your business? That's one piece that I'll relate it to business is when you find something that works or that's converting or that's landing with your audience. Sometimes it can be really easy because we all like to be in creation mode and we create new things and we launch because launches are exciting and we're going to do this new thing. Then we're diluting our business rather than concentrating it. Find that one thing, that two thing, the three things that are working. Focus on bringing more attention, more awareness to those things. To me, that is key for both networking as well as your business. Let's see, I'm looking at my notes. The second piece of advice, again, both in the Dames and beyond, is to give at least as much as you receive, if not more. So I'm working right now. I have this amazing client. He's in philanthropy and he's 79 years old. He is doing his exit strategy from his multi-million-dollar company, but he has no intention of retiring. He is building his next chapter, and that's what we're doing with him. But his whole thing is, he said, Erin, I've never once given and not gotten more in return. And he says, people joke around because I'll say that altruism doesn't even really exist because it is impossible to give without receiving. There's always something you give back. And if you're feeling like there's not, then you need to shift your perspective. And that has really stuck with me. And this goes back to what I was saying about how I show up in the Facebook group, for example. I make no money from recording videos to post in the group. I don't search for clients in the group, but I feel good providing value because hopefully if one person can benefit, I feel good. Second, I know that when I show up in service, I attract those people that also want to do the same thing. So when it comes to your Dames membership and using Power Partners, it's really important to nurture those relationships rather than seeing them as transactional. And that's a really different thing in this group compared to a lot of networking groups, that it's more like we're each seeing each other as potential clients. We're here, we're seeing each other as the connections to potential clients more. So when I show up in service to my Power Partners, it looks a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's a one-on-one call and we're brainstorming and masterminding a problem one of us has. I see Claire somewhere on this call. I don't see her right now, but Claire Heffern and I are, there you are, Claire. We're Power Partners that started out as Power Partners, and we help each other in business and masterminding problems, and it grew to friendship, and we now know about each other's lives and homes, and we meet for breakfast when I'm in Denver, and that's what it's all about. That support can be business, it can be friendship, it can be when someone's navigating something heavy. Sometimes for me, it looks like, a Power Partner will say, hey, I'm getting ready to send out this email. Can you just take a quick look? That's a way of service for me, again, because I don't always have the time for the one-on-one calls. So how can I show up in service strategically in a value that doesn't always equate to one-on-one time that is limited right now in this season of my business? And that applies to all the things. Other ways of giving, referrals, connecting people together that you think just need to be in each other's orbits. audio things. Megan and I are power partners a lot of ways where we audio each other, even if we can't see each other for a month. The last thing I want to get into, and I guess this one is more from a getting to the 250K mark. You know how people say, visualize, feel it, like well, you've already gotten there, whatever your goal is, like picture yourself in it, let yourself feel it. I take that a step further and I say, act like it. Act like it's already happened. It's about the company you keep. It's about the systems that you're building. When I'm building something from the very beginning, my brain is thinking, wait, if I do it this way, I'm going to have to just redo it next year when I'm at the next. Everything I do from the very beginning has been as if I'm already making 7 figures. That the tables I pull up a seat at, the power partners I'm nurturing, and it doesn't mean that it always feels comfortable. A lot of times it's really awkward and I feel really nervous and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a room that I am by far the dumbest person. But I'm there and I look the part and I do the things. It's mindset. Act like you're already at the thing. What are those people doing? What systems are they building? What people are they seeing? What habits are they building? That's my biggest tip. Fake it till you make it, I guess, is the big thing there. But it is truly, if I had to say one thing that made the difference for me, first to get to 100K, then to keep going those different thresholds, it's been acting like I'm already past the threshold.
Amen. Dude, those were brilliant. I love those topics. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ladies, Erin is one of those rare people who can see the connections between everything. You know, those people, like, I just love it because you see how everything so seamlessly goes together. And that is the beautiful way of looking at life. So please take these tips. I've recorded this. I'm going to put it into the Dames Facebook group so that other dames can have it, and go back through and listen to this because it's full of wisdom nuggets. Booyah, baby.